Here is the silver price move you don't want to see. Now, for some of you, this might be really obvious. For some of you, maybe you haven't thought about this before. I am Joe Main. You are watching Good Morning Stackers. Hit the big red subscribe button. Join my private Silver Investor Club as well. I'll put a link somewhere below. Silver giveaways, bullion specials, much, much more. Here is silver on the quarterly time frame, priced in USD, $64. We're back. Back, baby. Just a quick zoom out to show you where we are. 45-year cup and handle. All my subscribers know, 45 years. We finally broke it through that $50 mark. There was no way it was going to be a triple top here. We've sailed through. Fantastic. Great to see. Here's what you don't want to see, okay? And again, for some of you, this will be really obvious, but for some, maybe not. You do not want to see within the next sort of 3 to 4, 5 months the following. Up to like, $200, something like that, within the next sort of first half of next year. You absolutely don't want to see a massive spike like that. Now, for my subscribers, for people who invested for a long time, you know the reason why, but let me explain it to people who are maybe just getting into silver for the first time, for example. I'll give a little caveat to it. You would want to see it if you had a beautiful close close to the top. Okay, now, by the way, I am not saying $200 is coming in the first half of next year. I don't think that's a possibility, but you really wouldn't want it in the first place. If, look, as I said, a caveat, if you have a big candle close, okay, sure, that's good. I mean, that should be very, very bullish, right? But probably what would happen if you had some kind of spike to there, and again, I don't think this happens, but what if you had this big spike, it's more likely going to be a spike, and then the close would happen somewhere probably like that kind of thing. You don't want to see those big kind of candle spikes in the upward direction, okay? Because it says sellers are in control of the market. It says things got overheated quite quickly. You don't want to see that, because the larger move you have with such a large candle, the longer the next consolidation period is going to be. I mean, this could take you into 2028, 2029, something like that. You don't want to see that. Everyone wants to get rich quick. You want to see silver at $1,000, and I get all that. Of course, I do too eventually. But what you want, and again, I know this sounds very yeah, really? No, Sherlock. But some people are really, really gunning for silver to run really, really high, really quick. No, you don't want that. You want the more slow and steady wins the race. Now, of course, I've been talking about 3 major targets. We're getting close to one right now. Let me pop all these in for you. Right there and there. See, they line up quite well. That one lines up on the logarithmic scale. I'll take you to the linear. I'll show you where we are right now. This is this first target. Now, I believe personally we do get through this target eventually. And I think in the sort of February to April period, within the first half of next year, let's give it that we do sail through this first target. That's at around about 65, 66 US dollars. I think we do get through there, and that's where we have our sort of larger top before a consolidation. However, just letting you know, we are at that first target right now, or getting close to it. Okay, so we always have to watch out for the message of the market. Okay, on the weekly time frame, you're actually looking, you're still looking good, all right? We are making higher highs, which is good, and we've just sailed through. Look on that daily, right? Everyone starts freaking out. You have a bit of a move up. We had this move up to like $65. We have one day of red, and people start going mental. It's like, oh, it's over, the top's in. It's like, just chill, okay? That's one day of red in like basically a sea of green, okay? But bear in mind, okay, we are coming up to the top end here, or to this target right here. If I show you the indicators as well, what are we noticing? Now, the volume looks really good on the daily time frame. Volume's good. RSI is pretty good. I mean, there's some potential bearish divergence playing out, but nothing set in stone, okay? So this is where it's only a potential. You have a higher high and then a lower high on the relative strength index. The volume is what's saving it at the moment. It's looking quite good. But you cannot say that you've got bearish divergence until you pivot. Now, what does pivot mean? Pivot means, no, it's not like it's the same thing, but it's not Ross in Friends, pivoting the couch up the stairs. If you know, you know. But pivoting is where you need to have at least 3 days or a massive spike, 3 days of opposing directions. So for example, give you an example here. Here's a pivot. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's the peaks, right? But you don't know you've properly peaked until you get at least 2-3 days of red candles or green candles in the opposite direction, right? So there's a pivot. Okay, that's clearly a pivot. Okay, because then you had 1, 2, 3 days under that previous high. So that's a pivot, right? And you can see it in hindsight, right? Here, 1, 2, 3 days of down after up. So that's easily a pivot, right? Here's a pivot because you had 1, 2, 3 days of prices go in the opposite direction. So right here, you have a potential bearish divergences, but we haven't pivoted here. We had that spike down, but then it's come back up almost straight away. So you haven't got that, 2-3 days of lower prices, right? So you would need to see possibly something like that, 1, 2, 3. On that third day, then you could say, if we got up to here, for example, and this is all spitballing, right? Just spitballing. If you got up to here, $66 roughly, had a few days of downward movement, then you could say, okay, the pivot's in. Now you've got a higher high, you've got a lower high in the relative strength index. Then you can say, okay, looks like we're going to find a bit of retracement from that 66 level. That doesn't negate the higher prices coming, but I would suggest then watch out, just watch out for here, okay? And then if you get that kind of pivot, then you can say, okay, we're going to retrace a bit, maybe, who knows, possibly down back to like 54, something like that. Who knows? If we do that, if we pivot here, then I'll do some more investigating for you. But I think that would be a short-lived move. If we take a look on the weekly, come on, weekly, let me get rid of all of this for you. Hit the big red subscribe button to join me here at Good Morning Stackers. Let's see, there and there. I do still think you have that room to move up into that sort of second half of 2026, call it that February, kind of leading to that February, April kind of time frame, where you can actually get up to my next target of $82. And that's based on the logarithmic. Where are we? No, not there. Right there. That's based on the logarithmic, and that is the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, trend-based Fibonacci extension from this low, this high, and this low. So it pops it in right there at that 82 mark. On the logarithmic scale, I can easily get up to that sort of area. Where are we? Here. Okay, you've just got to be wary of what the indicators are doing at the same time. But yeah, you could see that. So you could, again, this is all spitballing, and I know some people are going to comment, you're just throwing out random numbers. They're not random numbers. I'm just saying if this, then that. Watch out for 66 right now. Potential, move there. And then I do think, though, I'm leaning towards that sort of $80 kind of area before we see that larger pullback on silver, which we will have, which will take you, into maybe 2027. Okay, before we see the next huge move going up into 2030, which will take you to that sort of minimum $200 level that I think we're going to get to. So that's where I'm leaning towards, around about that $80 mark. Just be very weary of that $66 mark at the moment. And as I said, what you don't want, absolutely don't want, is it to sail through to like $200, $300 straight away. That wouldn't be good for the market. You'd have to be asking, hang on, what the hell's going on in the general economy if silver's like shooting through the moon in the next 3 months? You'd be like, there's something else bad going on in the economy. And, that's not a good thing that you want. You just want this nice, slow and steady, just up, down, take us into 2030, fantastic, $200, and then the commodity super cycle, which is happening probably over the next at least 20 years, 30 years. Silver can be much, much higher later on down the track. So that's what you want, slow and steady. You don't want the big spikes, and I'm just giving you a little silver analysis for the day as well. You may have noticed that I wasn't able to go live on YouTube today. That is because YouTube has banned me from live streaming for 7 days. I did an interesting live stream yesterday. I inadvertently broke some guidelines, so they deleted that live stream, and I can't live stream for 7 days. However, from next Tuesday, I will go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays as normal. I'm going to do some extra standalone videos like this on YouTube in between. So you won't get live on Thursday, but you'll get some standalone videos just like this. Do me a favor, of course. Head over to the Silver Investor Club. You do want to be a member of the Silver Investor Club. Why wouldn't you? Well, if you don't like a private club for new and veteran silver investors, if you don't like an amazing community, if you don't like free silver giveaways just by being a member, if you don't like silver specials, if you don't like analysis, auctions, education, private live streams, and more, then don't join the Silver Investor Club. But do join from only $1 a month, 7-day free trial as well. I mean, geez, I'll put a link somewhere below. Check out the plans, see what you get for your very minimal amount of US dollar money per month. And I highly recommend you'd want to be a part of it. You can also join the VIP program as well and have one-on-one investment strategy sessions with me, non-financial advice, of course. And buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, the best bullion dealer in all of Australia. Why? They do everything that all the big boys do, except they have free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your order. What other bullion dealer in Australia has free shipping? Find them for me. Tell me. Put them in the comments and we'll battle it out. That is it. That's been a standalone video. I will go live again next week. More videos to come, more content. Hit the big red subscribe button to join me. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you soon.